Welcome to Monograph Matters. Today, we have a discussion between Alexis McCraw and Hollis Heim, authors of the SRCD Monograph, on dynamic field theory of executive function, identifying early neurocognitive markers. This discussion focuses on how has this research shaped your career development. So, in what ways do you think this monograph and your current work have informed your development as an early career scientist?
So this monograph focuses basically on this underlying theme of embracing individual variability as a way to understand executive function. So specifically, we found that brain activity during tasks where kids were thinking about their colors and shapes, impacted their executive function performance a year later. And this speaks to the fact that when children are developing these label representations, that there's this inherent individual variability just built into the structure of the brain. So that work has really inspired some of the questions that I'm working on with my dissertation, which basically is there individual variability and brain activity during those dimensional label learning tasks when kids are older. So my current study recruits kids ages between 8 and 10. And even though these kids are old enough to know all their shapes and colors, the question is there individual variability in the way that their brain is structured to account for those differences in executive function? So what's interesting about that is just understanding the reality that the brain is complex. Like basically to fully understand the complexity and challenges of the brain, we really need to embrace that complexity, embracing understanding the individual variability. So that viewpoint does, of course, impact my current research work, but it also informs the way I teach my students in my child psychology class and also the way that I parent my children. And as an early career scientist, it's really important that I have that strong scientific foundation to be able to have these intellectual, nuanced conversations with my students. We can have lots of different conversations around this, but in my class, we talk a lot about current theories. We have the classic discussion of nature versus nurture. We'll discuss like information processing theory, core knowledge theory, and dynamic systems theory. And it's basically my hope that I instill that kind of awe into my students as to the amazing nature of the developing mind. And then also as a mom of two, with two children under the age of 3, I actually get to witness these complexities in my own life, just outside of the laboratory environment, because my two children, they're just as different as they can be, even with similar environmental situations. So it's kind of interesting to be able to apply all the stuff that we're looking in the lab and watching it happen with my own kids. And, looking forward to what my life is going to be as I become older in this research field. I intend to continue to teach after I graduate and, hopefully help my students foster appreciation for the beautiful complexities of the human mind.
Yeah, that's a great answer, Holly. I feel like this project is incredibly impactful for me because I am quite early in my career. I feel like because this is my first author publication, I'm really grateful to my PI, Dr. Buss, for allowing me to take lead on this monograph. Writing a paper of this length really allowed me to hone in on my skills as a writer and as someone with an interest in disseminating my work to broader audiences. I really appreciate that SRCD monographs are structured and intended to be read by individuals who are directly involved in, adjacent to, or even completely removed from academia. And I hope that the final project that we have created is intelligible to those not as immersed in the literature as us authors are. As far as like the actual content of the paper, I do feel like this longitudinal study really shaped the entire trajectory of my career. Data collection for this project started while I was still an RA in Dr. Buss's lab, and is what really convinced me to stay at the University of Tennessee and pursue a career in experimental psychology at all. I knew pretty early on that I really liked taking psychology courses in undergrad, but I had no idea what careers a psych degree would actually get me. I also knew that through all of my time in grade school, English was my favorite subject. I always felt there was something really important and interesting about the ways that we learn and use language. And I had seen myself that language has the power to literally change thought. So, like, for example, individuals who learn more specific color terms are able to see more colors than those who learn more general terms. So I always thought stuff like that was really interesting. In this longitudinal study and many similar projects that have been conducted in this lab, approached the intersection between language and other cognitive functions in a way that really spoke to me. I admittedly am still very early in my career and have been in this lab since before it even began. A lot of the ways that I think about development and come up with hypotheses has been shaped by this project. I hope to continue along this line of research focused on language and executive function, and to take what I have learned through this monograph writing process with me. Through going through the writing and editing of this paper, I found a great passion for making sure that my work is representative of all individuals, not just the kids that are convenient for us to run in the lab. I also have a newfound interest in building intervention plans for preschool age children, as I feel like this is the next step for the research that we present in this paper.
Read more about this topic in the monograph issue, Dynamic Field Theory of Executive Function, Identifying Early Neurocognitive Markers by Alexis McCraw, Aaron Buss, et al. If you like this video, consider watching our Monograph Matters playlist. For additional resources related to this and other issues of the monographs of the Society for Research in Child Development, please visit monographmatters.srcd.org.